There's lots of people talking about the 20 years of dubstep and 20 years of this track and 20 years of that track, and it feels like the genre has hit a milestone this year.
There's one narrative which does upset me when it comes to dubstep, and it's a very common narrative, which is that it fell off or disappeared. I actually don't think it ever went.
Il y a plein d'artistes aujourd'hui qui ont un son très frais et qui cherchent à pousser le dubstep plus loin et le faire flirter avec d'autres genres.
Ich merke da einen großen Shift in der Art der Community, die gerne auf Dubstep-Partys geht. Das ist viel freier, der Zugang ist, glaube ich, ein anderer geworden.
I'm actually really curious to see who are going to be the next young producers who make something that's really different from stuff that's being made already, you know?
The difference in what I feel when I'm in a techno club dancing compared to when I'm in a dubstep or bass music event. I feel with dubstep, there's so much space to have my own experience within the dance. I am Jungfia. I'm a DJ and producer based in Berlin. I grew up in London, where I was around a lot of bass music, a lot of UK sounds. I would like to think I have the role of bringing that sound to Berlin. I've come to London to play at Hit and Run's 19th birthday, a sick party with Sinai sound system, which is what I'll be playing on, Brixton Jam tonight. I think there's a lot of really exciting stuff coming in the dubstep realm, especially from Printre artists. What Beatrice M is creating with Bait is so interesting. They've kind of created a label that is completely dubstep, but it's its own thing.
Mon label Bait, je l'ai créé en 2023. Et du coup, c'était un peu un moment où j'étais très intéressée par la dubstep technoïde, donc beaucoup ce que fait le label tectonique que gère Pinch et qui a été une de mes plus grandes inspirations. Donc l'idée, c'était un peu de représenter ces sonorités-là, mais avec un take un peu plus moderne et avec la nouvelle génération de productrices, notamment venant de la perspective française. Je m'appelle Béatrice M, j'ai grandi en France, mais mes deux parents sont anglais. Je mixe et je produis. Ici, on a mon premier dubplate. Un dubplate, ça fait vraiment partie de la culture dubstep et de tous les genres dans le sound system music. Les producteurs pressaient un morceau qui n'était pas encore sorti sur un vinyle exclusif, une seule copie, qui pouvait jouer et tester en club.
Es gibt eine ganz neue Riege von Künstlerinnen, die basierend auf den Roots von Dubstep da geprägt sind, aber die Musik fühlt sich, glaube ich, freier an. Ich bin Arthur Rieger, ich kümmere mich um die Auswahl der DJs bei Open Ground.
Open Ground ist ein Clubprojekt hier in Wuppertal, direkt beim Hauptbahnhof. Ich
bin Markus Riedel und habe ein Clubprojekt gestartet.
Wir, die wir hier sitzen und fast alle anderen auch im Team, haben primär einen Musikhintergrund, also kommen nicht vom Party machen, sondern kommen jetzt alle aus dem Plattenladen. Also Stichwort Hardwax, da hat natürlich auch Dubstep ganz von Anfang an stattgefunden und eine ganz wichtige Rolle gespielt. Ich heiße Marc Ernestus, ich produziere seit langer Zeit Musik, betreibe in Berlin den Plattenladen Hardwax und ich war von Anfang an als enger Berater im Projekt hier involviert.
Also allgemein glaube ich in den letzten Jahren ist vor allem der Zugang zur Musik genreübergreifend universeller geworden. Also diese New School of Dubstep agiert freier in der Produktion, habe ich das Gefühl.
How are you?
Good. Very happy you can make it.
Thank you. I'm actually really curious to see who are going to be the next young producers who make something that's really different from stuff that's being made already, you know. Hey, my name's Mala. I'm a music producer, DJ and record label owner. I got into dubstep in the beginning, well, before it was dubstep really, you know. We was already making music, you know. Some of the music that we were making could get played by DJs like Hatcha and Code 9. When I say we, I'm talking about the DMZ crew. Our event, DMZ at the Mass in Brixton, was our stomping ground. But it became a place where you would test music, you know. You would make dub plates and other producers and other DJs would make dub plates to play at DMZ. When we were making music all those years ago, we never in a million years thought it was music that people would dance to. It just was a very kind of minimal, stripped back, sub-heavy electronic style, you know. We had no idea that people would actually get down to it on a sound system.
I always felt it was incredible that what grew out of this kind of really small space and community now is something that is globally recognised. For me, it's exciting seeing a new generation, and I don't want to sound like an old person, but I will sound like an old person when I say when younger people are kind of, you know, pushing things forward. Hi, I'm Pinch. I make dubstep music and things related to that. I run a label called Tectonic, and I was one of the first people putting on a dubstep events in Bristol in the UK. In a way, dubstep happened because a lot of people got bored of everything else, and I think there was a thirst for that kind of exploring new spaces, taking some of the textures and sounds and influences and moving them in a different way. To us at the time, the rhythms felt uniquely different from everything else that was going on in dance music.
As I say, there was just kind of lots of innovation happening. You know, there was so much new music being made and all of the music sounded different.
The DMZ event started in 2005 and I was invited to play at the second DMZ event, and the second Subloaded that I put on, I invited DMZ to play. So there was a connection that kind of built from that era, and I was almost like a kind of weird little dubstep missionary going around trying to convert people who were into metalheads and jungle and various other kind of corners of music. In those early days, you know, 20-something odd years ago, it had a kind of fairly minimal beat and sonic and a rhythm that was perhaps more born from UK garage, connecting with grime, but in a kind of parallel sense. The beats were generally from 135 to 145 BPM.
The original UK sound it's very minimal and dark and deep. I would say now it's really coming back to that original UK sound. I really feel like with any kind of dub music, especially dubstep, like you need to have that full body immersive experience. If it's possible to also get to experience that within the context of where the music came from, having a little bit of the historic context of dub music being something that was revolutionary, it was about resistance, I think it can be an even more powerful experience.
The most important thing for people to know is that dubstep wouldn't exist without Jamaican sound system culture. My name is Mia Coden. I am a music producer, a DJ, a wannabe archivist, and I'd say those are the three main things. A big part of the culture was the spaces it was in, who was looking after them. Like blues parties, for example, I'd say is another foundational thing, which are parties which they had for Black, Afro-diasporic and Caribbean immigrants who didn't have a place to go. They couldn't go to clubs. There was a lot of racism and political tensions back in the day, so blues parties were a very important space where you could hear some reggae, some ska, a lot of like inherently Black music. Even if some people might not understand this connection, it's part of the soul of everything that ended up being dubstep.
Within dubstep now, it's just exploded and there's so many subgenres of it and there's so many different takes on it. It's very easy for that history to get lost over time. But somehow it's really in the heart of the genre, no matter what way it evolves.
In 2010, with the kind of like the global explosion of dubstep with the American sound, I think for many of us it just meant that there was somewhat more opportunity, but there would only be a certain opportunity at a certain level if you were prepared to play a certain game or make a certain style of dubstep, which is something that I've never really leaned toward. You know, I've always continued to do things in my way.
In regards to like the brostep era, I'd never like police what anybody listens to. It's like, I think looking back on that era now, I can see why some people do find it problematic for sure. But I also think one positive thing we could say is there has been a lot of like creativity and a lot of ways where people have like really pushed against it. So amazing things were like born out of the resistance to that.
Il y a un terme que j'ai commencé à utiliser qui s'appelle sibling step. Donc sibling, c'est le mot à genre en anglais pour dire frère et sœur. Et c'est un peu une réponse semi-blague au terme brostep, qui du coup tout est dans le nom, bro, c'est frère. Et c'est pas que en termes des gens qui le font, donc plus de personnes minorisées, mais c'est aussi en termes du son qui en ressort, qui n'est pas du coup cette dubstep classique, brostep, mais du coup une dubstep qui est beaucoup plus hybride, expérimentale et qui se mélange avec d'autres genres. Donc c'est featuring Kaba, qui est un rappeur français, et Genului, qui est un MC qui vient de Londres. L'idée de ce morceau, qui s'appelle In Touch, c'était de un peu faire un morceau de dubstep avec des vocaux qui réunit l'Angleterre et la France et qui est produit par quelqu'un qui n'est pas un homme, mais avec des vocaux de deux hommes. Et du coup, pour renverser un peu la dynamique, parce que souvent, c'est un producteur masculin featuring une chanteuse féminine. Et donc renverser le schéma habituel, j'adore.
I think that's a real blessing of having more women and like non-male presence in the scene. I think there's definitely like a really good connection between like some of these newer people that have come through, like Beatrice I'm really close with. We are at open ground right now, which rightly so has gained a really positive reputation for the sound and also for the community of people who come here. There's a really incredibly passionate team behind it.
How can you not fall in love with this place if you love music, whether you're just a listener or you're an artist, both sides of the fence, shall we say. It's an amazing experience. It sounds much better in here. I didn't know it could sound better. I didn't know the room could sound better, but it sounds much better. It's like full, seriously full, yeah. And the weight as well. It's like it's going right underneath the floor as well. It's like fills up the whole space. That's crazy. I got to play. Just want to play Militant Don again, so I can hear it out there.
Ein großes Merkmal, das sich von anderen Clubs in der Region unterscheidet, ist, dass wir halt nicht nur ein Genre bedienen, sondern sehr viele unterschiedliche Genres versuchen auf der gleichen Ebene darzustellen. Das war von Anfang an ein wichtiger Teil, also dass Dubstep auch ein Teil vom Programm einfach darstellt bei uns, vor allem weil es halt sehr zeitgemäße Musik ist. Man hat halt diese Räume hier in Verbindung mit der Soundanlage und den Raum, lässt sich Dubstep einfach sehr präzise darstellen, wie die Musik auch wirklich produziert ist, und das ist halt im sehr tiefen Bereich dann.
Unser Soundsystem, die Anlage ist eine Function One. Wenn ich Soundsystem sage, gehört immer der Raum dazu, und die Absorption kommt von Wax Acoustics aus Berlin.
Das Publikum hier ist sehr divers, das ist ein riesengroßer Benefit.
Gerade auch bei Dubstep-Nächten kommen sehr viele, auch internationale Leute, sehr viele Manchester, London, Belgien, Holland, viele aus Berlin.
Ich merke da einen großen Shift in der Art der Community, die gerne auf Dubstep-Partys geht. Das ist viel freier, der Zugang ist, glaube ich, ein anderer geworden. Klar sind das viele Heads in dem Sinne, aber ich glaube, das geht mehr in die Breite und ist viel offener, was das Publikum angeht.
For me, it's very interesting that there is a sort of revival of interest in dubstep music at the moment, and the kind of related scenes around it.
Je sais pas pourquoi les gens sont obsédés par le dubstep aujourd'hui, mais peut-être c'est quelque chose dans le sentiment de communauté qui a vraiment, je trouve que la culture dubstep elle est fascinante, l'histoire elle est fascinante, et du coup il y a quelque chose qui est très attrayant dans ce genre. Et j'adore faire partie du dubstep et de sa scène.
I do think there is a lot of connection and a lot of like genuine support. People actually are rating what each other does, and it's really special.